Join us for an informative video session where we will delve into the intricacies of seamless integration. Bizdata's integration solution, eZintegrations, enables integrating files from your Oracle database into the Oracle Universal Content Management (UCM) Cloud, neatly packaged in convenient zip files. Discover the step-by-step journey of transforming database data into organized, compressed, and ready for secure and efficient storage in the cloud. To begin, log into your eZintegrations account, click eZintegrations, and add the integration bridge. The first step is to configure data source. Select source type as database since the source is Oracle database. Furnish other database details as can be seen in the video. In response parameter, enter the key that holds the data from source. It is items here. Write the SQL statement to select data from import data table in source. Click on execute to generate response from source. The response from source can be seen here. Next, navigate to data operations to begin transforming, wrangling, and cleaning the data. We can see the list of all the operations by scrolling here. The first operation that we will be using is JSON to delimiter. The response received from source is in JSON format. We will change them by using this operation. In key data, pass the keys of delimiter data that are required to be converted to JSON data. The response received from source is stored in key name Bizdata dataset response and the data is stored under key named items. Hence, these two keys will be passed here. Pass comma in delimiter as we have comma separated list of values. In response key, pass the key name that will hold the converted delimiter data. It is file data here. Next, using base 64 encoding operation, we will encode the data, since our data target that is UCM Cloud, accepts encoded data. Data is stored within key named file data, so we are passing it here. Finally, using append operation, we will name the file and provide the file extension. Here, file is being renamed to locations and extension given is CSV. Next step is configuring data target. We will select data lake as our target first. This done to collect all files and then send it to our target that is UCM Cloud in a zipped format. Select Bizdata 360 data lake ingestion as target type. Enter table name in the designated space. We are collecting all files in the index named worksheet files. Enter the primary key. Here, the file names are primary key for each. This is Bizdata 360 data lake. We can see our target table, worksheet files here. Data can be seen coming to the target as the record count increased from 0 to 1. In the discovery table, we will discover the data to check the data received in target. It can be seen that the required data has come to the target. Similarly, we will create more integration bridges to extract data from different tables and send them to data lake. We will follow the same steps as done previously. Enter the database details as shown in video. Enter key name containing all the data and SQL statement to extract data from table named planners. The response generated from source can be seen here. Next, we will navigate to data operations and apply the same set of operations as done for the previous table. First, using JSON to delimiter, convert the JSON data from source. Next, using base64 encoding, encode the data. Finally, using append operation, name the file as planners and add the extension as CSV. Under Target, enter the same data lake table name that is worksheet files, as done for the previous table since all the data should be stored in the same index. Enter the primary key as file name. Now, in the summary section, provide the name and description of the integration bridge. Schedule frequency to 60,000 seconds. Once everything is done, click on Submit. The integration bridge can be seen in the list. We can now proceed to run the integration bridge and check streaming logs. Data can be seen coming to the data lake as record count increased from 1 to 2. Data can be seen in Data Discover option. Next, data of third table will be sent to data lake following the same steps as done for the previous two tables. Enter the database details as shown in video. Enter the key named items, holding data from source and table name that is UOM in SQL statement from where data is needed to be extracted. Click Execute to receive response from source. Next, we will navigate to data operations and apply the same set of operations as done for the previous tables. First, using JSON to delimiter, convert the JSON data from source. Next, using base64 encoding, encode the data. Finally, using append operation, name the file as UOM and add the extension as CSV. Under Target, enter the same data lake table name that is worksheet files, as done for the previous table since all the data should be stored in the same index. Enter the primary key as file name. Now, in the summary section, provide the name and description of the integration bridge. Setting interval to 60,000 seconds. Once everything is done, click on Submit. The integration bridge can be seen in the list. We can now proceed to run the integration bridge and check streaming logs. Data can be seen coming to the data lake as record count increased from 2 to 3. Data can be seen in Data Discover option. Now, we will prepare the data to be sent to UCM Cloud in a zip file. We will begin by adding a new integration bridge, and selecting data source as Bizdata 360 Data Lake, since all the files have been stored there. In table name, enter the index name where all the files have been stored. Entering the name, worksheet files, here. Next, we will move to data operations. The first operation used will be data extractor. The key named Bizdata dataset response, holding data from source, will be passed here. Next, using zip file in base64 operation, all the files will be stored in a zip format. In source key, enter the key that has all the data from source, that is Bizdata dataset response. Enter file name key, file extension key and file data key. In base64 response key, enter the key which will hold the base64 string, where the zip files will get stored. Next, we will configure the data target. Enter target type as API. Enter target name as Oracle Universal Content Management Cloud and business object as upload file from the list. Enter the authorization URL. The authorization is basic auth. Enter username and password. Enter headers. Enter the body details. In body, we will pass the base64 response key used Indiana operations, that is file string, as it holds the base64 string of zip files. Finally, we will go to summary section to provide the name and description of the integration bridge. We will set the interval to 86,480 seconds. Once everything is done, click Submit. The integration bridge can be seen in the list. We can now proceed to start the service and check streaming logs. This is our target UCM Cloud. The data file, that is eZintegrations plan demo, can be seen in target. All the files are stored in it in zip format. Once clicked, the files got unzipped and downloaded in the system, as can be seen. Millions of record can flow into target after starting the integration service. With eZintegrations, get a seamless and faster integration experience.